Good morning, friends and neighbors. This is Steve Sparks with another edition of Celebrating Democracy. I want to get back to my father's naval service that began in 1936 when he joined the Navy at 17. He went to boot camp at the Great Lakes Naval Training Center. And after he graduated with a little time at home, he was assigned to the USS Tennessee battleship. And he sailed off to the South Pacific, specifically the South China Sea. And I don't think that most people remember or study as much as they should. The Second Sino-Japanese War between 1937 and 1945. It was a military conflict that was primarily waged between the Republic of China and the Empire of Japan. In China, the war is known as the War of Resistance against Japanese aggression, or as an Oriental theater of the World Anti-Fascist War. The latter term originated from Mao Zedong's wartime alliance with Stalin. The beginning of the war is conventionally dated to the Marco Polo Bridge incident, July 7, 1937. When a dispute between Japanese and Chinese troops in Peking escalated into a full-scale invasion. In 2017, the Ministry of Education in the People's Republic of China decreed that the term 8-year war in all textbooks should be replaced by 14-year war, with a revised starting date of September 1931, provided by the Japanese invasion of Manchuria. According to historian Raina Mitter, historians in China are unhappy with the blanket revision. And despite sustained tensions, the Republic of China did not consider itself to be continuously at war with Japan over these 6 years. So, my dad, Vernon, was out in the South China Sea around 1936, 37, long before Pearl Harbor, fighting. And I cried last night when I started looking at my dad's medical records again. And I just still, to this day, can't believe it. His medical records state that he was in hard combat for 66 months. Well, that's certainly a lot longer than World War II that began in 1941. So here's a man like thousands of men at that time were already at war in 1937. They were out in the South China Sea. They were fighting the Japanese with the Chinese who were invading China. And I also look back with my wife Judy, and I want to thank her very much for helping me with this. I don't do this work alone. She's been helping me with research on this project for 10 years. Her patience is unbelievable. And it's been very difficult for me emotionally, and I'm frankly amazed that we've been able to do this for 10 years, but the result of it is being able to share it with you. She also pointed out to me that what I should do with my dad's service, connected with all these medals that he has, is to talk about each one and provide a little history. So the first medal that I selected that I wanted to talk about is the China Service Medal. I don't know, it's it's certainly one that deserves some recognition. I mean, these are heroes. Thousands of heroes were serving in the South China Sea well before December 7th, 1941, fighting for our freedoms, protecting freedom all around the world. And that China Service Medal represents a part of history that's very important for our children and younger generation to understand. I think that it's a good idea to go back and revisit your forefathers' service and look for pictures, look for stories from your family of that time. You must have grandparents, great-grandparents who served at that time before World War II, when Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese. But the Japanese were fighting out there. They wanted to spread their idea of their culture. They wanted to spread that culture around the world. And that's what we were fighting here in the Pacific. And the same thing at the same time was going on in Germany in 1936-37 when Hitler was doing a lot of damage around the world. So we had wars on all fronts before 1941, and my father, Vernon, was fighting in the South China Sea. I want to read you a list of the medals my father received in his highly decorated service in the U.S. Navy, and I'm going to take each one over time, and I'm going to talk about each one like I am today, looking at that medal and thinking about my father when he first joined the Navy. I feel his soul. I know he was really excited about joining in the Navy to see the world, and I'm sure that he got enough of that and enough of fighting and enough of everything during that time, all the way up to 1945 when he returned home from World War II. 66 months of hard combat duty. 66 months of hard combat duty. Think about that. I cry about that. I just can't imagine that. And you look at his picture there in 1943, and you would never, ever know, just by look. It's an invisible, emotional tragedy, but they survived. They had really resilience. They were heroes, the greatest generation. So my father received the following: Combat Action Ribbon, Navy Good Conduct Medal, Bronze Star, China Service Medal, American Defense Service Medal, Bronze Star, American Campaign Medal, Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal, Silver Bronze Star, World War II Victory Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Korean Service Medal, Philippine Republican Presidential Unit Citation, Republic of Korea Presidential Unit Citation, Philippine Liberation Ribbon, and finally, United Nations Service Medal. And I just have to take a deep breath before I let you go, and we'll pick up the next time, and maybe I'll pick another one of his medals so that you can learn some history about it. So with that, put China at war in your search engine, and find out more about what was going on back in starting in 1937, where my father, Vernon H. Sparks, U.S. Navy, serving on the USS Tennessee BB Battleship 43. So I'll sign out for now. Have a great Sunday. and we'll talk next time.